Welcome back to Straight to the Point. We've been talking about the disturbing rise in childhood obesity and the role athletics can play in helping reverse the trend. Joining me now is someone who has dedicated his life to promoting student athletes, Jay Lafayette Carter, or as he is more often referred to, Coach Carter. Coach Carter, may I call you that?
That's cool.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Tell me in general, why did you decide you wanted to create Safio?
Well, back when I was a sophomore student athlete at UDC, around that time, Coach John Thompson, he had protested against the NCAA rules, Proposition 42, which was a limiting access to minority student athletes. And I felt that was a good gesture by him as a coach, but there should have been some collective outcry from the student athlete community. So I just talked to some of my teammates and some of the guys I knew that played for Maryland and Virginia and Georgetown, and asked them what they thought about the student athletes voicing their opinions about issues that affected them, and so Safio was born.
Okay, so you felt that the student athletes really didn't have enough resources,
A platform to express issues that affect them, whether it's on the playing field, whether it's in the classroom. There should be some level of representation for the student athlete. I mean, like I said, it was a great gesture by him as a coach to come out and protest, because he's John Thompson. Everybody's going to listen to him. But after the lights go off and Coach Thompson steps off the stage, then the real issues are still remains, and there's work that needs to be done in terms of student athletes being able to find out opportunities for themselves on and off the field.
Okay, and I know you guys are involved in so many different aspects with student athletes. Can you kind of give me an idea of the range of issues you address through your organization? Well,
Safio provides educational, career, and health services for student athletes on all levels, no matter if you're 8 years old or even if you're 80. You're always going to be a student athlete. One of the things we try to say in terms of being a student athlete, you have to stay healthy and you have to always keep learning. So that's the student part of it. You have to always learn, so you're a student. And athlete, if you want to be healthy and fit, you're going to have to always be an athlete to some degree. But the programs that we provide, we do summer camps. We have educational seminars where the kids can come in and learn about SAT prep. We have a college campus program that's called Get the College Edge, where we take college and high school athletes, put them together. They get an opportunity to engage with the college student athletes, the college coaches, learn what a depth chart is really about, and just really engage to learn the whole college atmosphere and process. A lot of times, these parents, although they may have star athletes, they really don't know the type of questions to ask college officials about what are the opportunities for their child to gain access to university or even graduate. So we have to give them those type of exposures when they're in high school.
So say you're lucky enough to be the parent of a star athlete, and obviously athletic sports is a great avenue for many people to go to college. What would you tell parents? What are the key things to keep in mind if their son or daughter is getting recruited?
First thing I would tell them is to study the university's graduation rate among the student athletes. If the coach is not successful in terms of, because you're there to graduate, you're not there just to serve as an athlete and make money for the university, because they're going to continue to make money through TV advertisement and sponsors. But your job as a student athlete is to go there and be successful and obtain a degree and graduate. And that should be the focal point of any parent that is venturing off into a college to get information. So that's what I would tell them.
Okay.
To know graduation rates is most important.
But as you know, not everybody who participates in sports is going to go on to play sports in college. What do you think about when you see these statistics that we have now, 1 in 3 kids that is obese or overweight? What do you think about this epidemic that we're facing?
Well, to answer your first part of your question, in terms of athletes putting the eggs in one basket, you're right. There are startling statistics. 1 out of every 10,000 student athletes make it to the professional ranks. So that's a harsh reality in terms of whether you're a blue chipper or whether you're a top AAU athlete. you still have to have some balance and some avenue once the ball starts bouncing. To answer your second portion of your question, those are also startling statistics. And one of the things that we're doing as an organization, we've created a program called Get Up, Get Involved, Healthy Living. It's an after-school program that runs 3 days a week. It's 2 DC public schools right now. And we engage the students in a variety of different activities to address the obesity issue. One thing is we try to focus on is lifestyle change in terms of eating habits. One of the components of the program is we actually go to the kid's house and see what the parents have in the refrigerator. So we kind of engage the parents in that process so you can begin to change the lifestyle and the selection process. Another component of that program is we take the kids to actual grocery stores where they can learn to read labels. They need to know what level of sodium that you should be consuming on a regular basis, what level of fiber you should be consuming. You just can't go into the schools and then talk about, oh yeah, eat fiber, yeah, you know, healthy living. You got to, kids are basically educated based on what they see. Right. And what they can feel and what they can touch. And so that's a major component to our program.
And I know that it's something that Michelle Obama is also very concerned with, is just getting people access to good food, which can be tough because we don't all have access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and they're very expensive also.
It's expensive to be healthy, no doubt about that. One of the partners of our organization is a company called Biometric Health, and they have a program. They got me on it. I eat 6 times a day. I lost about 12 pounds thus far, but I'm still working hard trying to get to the weight that I want to be at. But it's a learning process, and it's a lifestyle change that you have to go through because you've been eating incorrectly for so long, and so you have to be educated and aware.
And getting back to the sports, I think too often parents and sometimes kids think of either they're going to be athletic or they're going to be academic, and really I think for most kids it's healthier to have a balance. That just because you're really smart doesn't mean you can't also get out there and at least try and do some sports. And if you are a great basketball player, that doesn't mean that you can't also get great grades and all of that. So what do you tell kids who might not be talented athletes? What can they get out of sports, even if they're not going to be necessarily playing for a college team?
I tell them what I used to tell myself. It may have been non-athletic, but a lot of times when I was younger and I had these summer jobs, and you find yourself working those dirty jobs, lifting boxes and stuff like that. But I always looked at it as an opportunity to work out. So I would tell them, look at, although you're not playing on a competitive level, look at it as an opportunity that you're getting in shape and you're working out, you're exercising. Right. So take advantage of that as an opportunity.
Okay, great. Yeah. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll hear from our studio audience and get their thoughts on promoting a nation of athletes. Stay with us. Welcome back to Straight to the Point. Joining us once again as we continue our discussion of battling childhood obesity is Jay Lafayette Carter, the founder of SAFIO, Student Athletes for Educational Opportunities. And we're going to hear from some of those athletes who have graciously joined us in our studio audience. So tell me, what impact has being an athlete had on your life? Can anybody comment on that?
Hi, my name is Brandon, and what impacted me on being an athlete? Well, I've been playing sports since I was little. I've been playing Little League, soccer, basketball, and ever since then I've been real straight with everything until ninth grade. I've been going through trouble and stuff like that, but then I always playing sports always gets me to stay in school and stay educated and just being good in school and helping my mom out. And me being an athlete, I feel like I want to go to college, not knowing that I'm going to be able to be an athlete out of college, but just being able to be educated and play sports at the same time. I feel real gifted to play 3 sports, and I just want.
Good for you. Do you think also that it's important that it's a good use of time? Because I think for a lot of young people, they get into trouble when they just have too much time on their hands. Do you think it's good that you've been so busy with all your sports?
Yeah, it's good to be able to, like, playing sports is a good thing because it also keeps you out of trouble. And when you're playing sports, you have nothing else on your mind. You have just being able to you're by yourself. And like when I play, I play alone, so it helps me just to let everything off my mind and know that, just knowing that I'm just myself, and that no matter what, I'm gonna play this sport, I'm gonna take care of my family, and just staying out of trouble is the best thing to do.
Good for you. Anybody else want to comment about what it's meant to them to be involved in the Safio program? I know that Coach Carter does a lot of different things that involve both the specific recruitment issues, but also just lifestyle things. Would anybody like to comment on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Brianna, and I got the chance to participate in the Crystal Langhorne basketball camp this past year and the year before that. And the coaches, I think they really push the students or the kids, and they let us know student, athlete, student always comes first. And so, and the Safio program, I think is a good alternative than being on the streets or somewhere where we're not supposed to be. And
as a young woman, do you feel like playing a sport is helpful to you as you know, I know there's a lot of pressures for teenage girls as far as, body image and, but it seems like if you're an athlete, it must give you something else to be focused on other than maybe like boys or something.
Yes, it does. It gives you confidence in yourself that, you don't have to hear from boys, that, oh, you're this or you're that, because, you have that pride in yourself that you can do anything. So.
And were you pushed as a kid to do sports, or was it just something you wanted to do?
I was never really pushed to do sports. I just had to do something rather than sitting around the house. So.
Don't we all? Okay, I think that's good advice for all of us.
If I may interject.
Sure.
One of the things that we plan on doing this year is we've partnered with the NFL Players Association and the Washington Nationals, because it's cliche as to say have something to fall back on, but if you don't give the kids exposure to fall back on, I like to say don't fall back on it, look forward to it. So one of the things that we're going to be doing with the NFL Players Association and the Washington Nationals is giving the kids an opportunity to partner with them to volunteer to get front office experience, working with the marketing team of the Nationals, the marketing team of the NFL Players Association, so they can see what it's like to work behind the scenes of sports. Because, if kids been exposed to sports all their life, 9 times out of 10 they want to be using that as a career.
Right.
But we want to give them an opportunity to have that experience now while they're in the 9th grade, the 10th grade, the 11th grade. And they can establish relationships and rub elbows with the folks that are actually doing what they may aspire to do in the future.
Because I think a lot of people don't realize that sports is also big business.
It's big business.
And there's and a lot of people who even make it to play professional sports eventually they're going to need to do something else as well. And so sometimes they wind up on TV. Anyone else want to talk about just in general some support that you received from the Safio program?
Oh, my name is Kim. And I'm part of the Safio program. I help design the clothes and stuff. And I think it's real important because we design a lot of stuff. Like, it helps you to stay confident and know what you want out of life. For instance, if something happened to your mother or something, you want to put it on the T-shirt, we could do that. And then you could just we could just email us on Facebook, it's Safio Inc. or Incorporation. And yeah.
So like Brandon was saying, it's a good outlet. It's a healthy outlet.
Yes.
Did you want to comment on that as well?
Yeah, I mean, Kim is right. We definitely want people to become fans of our Facebook page, Safio Inc.
You got the plug-in. Very good.
Hey,
But we don't want kids on Facebook. We want them out, playing, out, running around, getting exercise.
Well, they can get tips. They can get tips from our Facebook page.
Okay.
Healthy living.
There you go.
Off our Facebook page. But yeah, Kim is exactly right. It's an outlet and it's an opportunity. One of the things that we try to do to our athletes and our kids, and as well as our parents, is to provide them vehicles to have opportunities. And one thing that I always stress to the kids is once you understand the science behind taking advantage of an opportunity, if you live your life and that's part of your thinking habit, you can go far because you recognize opportunity. That keeps you out of trouble because you're always looking for opportunities and you know how to take advantage of opportunities. So that's one of the things that we try to stress.
Yeah, because there is a lot of competition out there for young people's time, and we mentioned it earlier. I mean, there's an endless amount of stuff you can do by yourself, sitting down, and it takes a lot of effort to get up and out. And that's one of the other things I wanted to ask you guys about, because as young people, you may be the first generation that actually has a shorter lifespan than your parents. Does anybody want to comment on just why you think that might be, and what if that's something that you think about at all, or what do you think about that?
I believe, well, my name is Diamond, and I worked at the Safio camp for Crystal Langhorne last summer and the summer before. And I believe that our generation, it does have a shorter lifespan because we don't get out and active enough. We stay in the house, get on the computer, use the phone, watch TV, play games, stuff like that. And instead, I don't understand why we don't go out, because it's always a beautiful day, something you can do.
Well, these have been great comments, but I did want to hear from Simone, because you had something you were going to read for us. I know this is a T-shirt. This is a Safio T-shirt. Yeah. Okay, let's hear Simone. And Simone, how old are you?
9 years old.
You're 9 years old. Okay.
I am wise because I listen to my parents and my coaches. I am wise because if you teach me, I will learn. I am a female student athlete, and I am wise.
Oh, you are wise. Thank you so much, Simone. That was great. And thank you, Coach Carter, for all the work you've done.
Thanks for having me.
And we really appreciate it. I think you guys are all great role models, and I really appreciate all your thoughts and comments today. That's all the time we have for this edition of Straight to the Point. I'd like to thank my guest, Marcus Ellis, Director of Athletics for DCPS, Jay Lafayette Carter, founder of Safio, and most of all, our fabulous studio audience for sharing their insights. If you'd like to learn more about Safio, visit www.safio.org. And for more information about First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, visit www.letsmove.gov. For Straight to the Point, I'm Cecily Fernandez. See you next time.